welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm April Boulware. I'm an author and a homeschool mom of 3, and I watch my 2-year-old nephew 3 days a week. I have 7 books out currently, and the 8th is coming out before the end of the month. Today we're going to do a video about marketing, what I've been doing differently, and what I've done over the past month to bring my book sales from this to this. But first, I need to give a little update because I haven't been on this channel. I haven't posted a video since January. A little update about where I've been. I had decided to delete this channel. I had a mental health situation at the beginning of the year that really affected my ability to be online and like talk to a camera. And I've recently had a new diagnosis that I'm still processing, so I'm not ready to share it yet, but I probably will at some point. I'm feeling better, so I'm back, and I've decided to keep going with this channel. I did not write a book in those almost 6 months. My last book was published in December, and just to give you a little background, which if you've watched my previous videos, you already know, that I published 4 books in the course of like 5 months, I think it was. No, 4 months. 4 months, from August to December of 2025. And I was on a roll, and I could like write like crazy, and then January hit and just everything went. I don't believe I was posting and marketing as much as I thought I was. Like going through these dips I have, I lose my motivation. So I was like, I thought I was still posting consistently, but yeah, I don't think I was. And at the same time, a lot of other authors said that January is like a low for sales because it's like following the Christmas spending and everybody's wanting to save money and pay off bills and stuff. And then I don't know if there's a misreporting on KDP. They say there's not, but then there's been talk that there is, so I don't know. Either way, my sales tanked. If you watch my previous videos, I was making decent money, what I consider full-time. March, I started coming out of the slump I was in, but it wasn't until this month, May, that I actually got the diagnosis, and things have started like making sense. Let's just put it that way. All right, I'm gonna try to put screenshots up in the editing, but if you watch my other videos, you know I'm not great with editing. So I'm just gonna share the differences first. December, I sold 313 books. I had 214,740 page reads, and I had made $2,181.97. From the release of my first book in this series, In the House of Prey, I had made the All-Stars bonus. I'd gotten a bonus every single month. So the first month I didn't get a bonus was February. In January, I made $1,370. I sold 180 books. So that's quite a fall from 313. So it might have been, I can probably look back, but I don't really want to take the time to right now. But it might have been January that I didn't get an All-Stars bonus. Okay, I'm not going to go through all the orders and stuff. I'm just going to go with the money. For February, I made $1,024. So since the release of this book, I hadn't made under $1,000 a month. So August through December of 2025 spoiled me, and I thought I had it figured out. March hit, and I made $883. Yeah, March was a painful month, but April had $696. I knew that I had to do something to change this. Now, there's a lot of factors. I know that Amazon pushes your new releases for, I think, 30 to 60 days, depending on how well they're doing. I had a new release in August, Then before the end of August, I put the second book live because people were wanting it. And then I had a release in October and December. And then crickets from December to May. So yeah, I know that it's going to drop off, but for me, like dropping from making $3,000 a month to 600 and something, that was like a super sharp drop, and I was like shocked. I'm confused here because I didn't show you a $3,000 month, but from August to December, I had some better months, and it averaged out from August through I think January to be about $3,000 a month. So that's why I just wanted to hop in here and add that. I was like freaking out thinking that my 4 books, that was the lifespan, you know. And I was wondering like if this is how books drop off after being live, you know, how do people actually make a living on their backlist? And I didn't realize that I wasn't marketing like I should. Editing April here again is actually the next day. I was watching back the video before I post it, and I realized that I keep saying that I didn't know that I wasn't posting consistently, but I never explained what consistency is for me. So what I did was, and what gave me this light bulb moment to know that consistency meant more than what I was doing, I went and I found another author's social media, an author that I know is selling and making 6 figures. And it was one of their advertisement, like burner accounts. And I counted, like I took the time to count like 2 months worth of content from when they first opened the account, which was like 2 years ago, and then from now. So 2 years ago, before they actually were making 6 figures, and then to now when they're making 6 figures and they have multiple accounts. They were consistently posting 3 videos a day when they first opened the account, and then they were posting, now they're posting between 1 and 2 videos a day. So they're posting approximately like 60 videos a month, but back when they first opened the account, they were posting upwards of 80 videos a month, and I think are closer to 90. I have it written down somewhere. And then I went and counted mine, and I posted like 24 videos in a month. So even though in my mind I was telling myself, oh, I'm posting 3 videos a day, or I'm posting at least 1 video a day, I wasn't. And I was skipping days. So like it averaged out maybe to be close to a video a day, but it, you know, it didn't even hit that. It was like in the 20s, and, you know, not even 30 videos a month. So, yeah, it just took like actually looking at what I was doing and then upping that, especially on Instagram and TikTok and trial reels in particular. So I talk about trial reels in this video, but consistency matters, and I don't know if there's like a number of posts a day that actually make a difference. But I think if you even can handle like posting once a day, just do it every single day. Don't give yourself a day off. Just keep on posting consistently, and it signals to the algorithm that, hey, this person is putting in the work. They're going to show up every single day. We're going to push their stuff. When I started the marketing push, which Vivian, I have my Great Dane on the porch with me, so she's chewing her bone, and I don't have my microphone because it's dead, and I didn't know that. So yeah, and I didn't want to wait 2 hours for it to charge, or however long it takes. I seriously decided I had to do something because I have my 5th book in the series releasing, my 8th book. I have the release date set as May 31st, but I'm probably going to go ahead and make it live probably today sometime. I have a tendency to do that instead of waiting for the day. So I believe it was late April that I started trying to post more regularly on Instagram. I was also trying to post on TikTok I have an author TikTok, my main author TikTok, and then I have 6 burner accounts. I've learned something about that, and I will share that in just a moment. But I wasn't posting super consistently, and I didn't realize that. I'm just wondering, like, if I had kept up with my posting consistently, if things would have dropped off quite as bad. So here's the thing, and if you've watched my previous videos, you will know that I have struggled with selling my books because, not with actually selling them, but with the idea that I'm selling them, because I'm sharing my past experiences in a purity culture cult, and that's my main hook. So I hook people with that, and then I say, oh, and I write this, and it gets a lot of reach because of the cult hook. So one thing I will say is that this coming up week and going into June, I'm definitely going to try to look at my most viral reels and the reels that do good with my cult experience hooks, and I'm going to try to apply that to my books, like by themselves, and see if I can figure out some way to share, like, because I know of very few authors are going to have that kind of background to use to hook people, and I don't want to be like, trying to share what I'm doing and then y'all are, you can't replicate that really. So I want to figure out, my dogs are fighting, I want to figure out why, the anatomy of why these reels are doing good besides just the cult stuff, and see if I can replicate that, and then I can share with y'all, hey, this is what's working for me, and this is a recipe, that you could replicate. Because yeah, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm doing good at that, this is, working for me, but it be something that, no one can really replicate unless they've lived through a cult. I don't like that, I don't want to be that person. And I was struggling with that because I was like, well, what if I write a book that isn't purity culture? I don't want to write just purity culture stuff. Am I going to be able to actually market my books? I think I let myself get in my head about that, and I quit marketing as much. But I was also worried that my audience was burnt out. I felt like that the drop in sales was correlated to a drop in views. That's what I felt like. And I'm going to try to post some screenshots. I became monetized on Facebook in December of 2025, and I didn't think anything about it, and I did not realize how many views and how many readers were coming from Facebook for me. So I think part of it is you need to figure out where your readers are, and focus on that platform. All I did was cross post from Instagram to Facebook. And then one day I was just decided to look at my Facebook page, and I have 40,000 followers. I'm like, holy shit, I have 22,000, I think, on Instagram. At the time I had 19,000, I think, something like that. I don't remember, but it was crazy, the amount of followers and views I was getting, and the amount of times that my videos were going viral on Facebook that I had no idea about because I was just cross-posting. But I saw a definite drop in views when I accepted the when I accepted the offer to monetize my Facebook page. When I go back to November of 2025, you can definitely see here again. I'm going to try to do a screen share or screenshots on this so that I can actually show you the screenshots from, I'm going to start with, I think it's October. I'm filming on my phone, so I'm trying to remember the screenshots I took. I took some from September, going into October, because October was my best month ever, book sales wise. So these are the views I was getting on a regular basis, and you can see that even the worst, like these are organized by views, so even the ones that are on the lower end are really good. And then I think I got some screenshots from December, some screenshots from November, so before the monetization in December, and the views were still going strong, as you can see. I don't know how many screenshots I got, so I'm like trying to buy time here so that y'all can see a variation of different posts and stuff and different weeks through November, and you can really see how many views were happening before monetization. January. And January is after okay, I'm not going to try to say that word anymore. Okay, so it was after the thing that caused my views to go down. I didn't correlate these two things when it was happening. But you can see there's a definite drop. And I just wanted to show y'all proof of that, you know, and like these are screenshots from my Meta Business app on my phone. The month and into February, which was when things dropped, I believe, below $1,000, or y'all just saw it. It's been a few hours for me. I'm back. I'm editing now. But I had a video go viral, like over 100,000 views in January, and then but going into February and March, my views, typical views, went from like 60, 50,000, 40,000 in September through December to, you know, in the single digits or in the teens. Yeah, so it definitely saw a drop and not as many videos going viral. Now, I'm not gonna say not to monetize, because I make on good months when I was actually had some stuff go viral, I made like $50 a month. I mean, it's not a crazy amount of money, but why leave money on the table? But that comes with the willingness to wait it out and understand that your algorithm is going to change. Because especially when you're pushing a book and you're like trying to get people to go off of Facebook onto Amazon or wherever you have your books, Facebook doesn't like that. They want them to stay on the app. I think that while I'm looking at my stats here, it like drop in views. Like views that did moderate are still there, but there are way less chances, I guess, for my stuff to go. I'm back editing April here. I will say that if I knew that this drop was going to happen, I probably wouldn't have taken the monetization. That selling $50 worth of books in a day versus getting $50 from content in a month isn't worth it. But if I start seeing more views, and I'll update my videos if y'all are interested. If I start seeing more views and I actually like make money from the content and the books, then I guess it'll be worth the little dip I saw. But I don't know if that's going to happen yet. So we'll see. I couldn't get out of the monetization. Like once I got in it, it messed up my algorithm. And so I did try to get out of it and I canceled it. My views didn't come back. I think I waited like 2 weeks. So I just put it back on and I just left it alone. And so like, it's not something you can just fix overnight. Once you enter that process, it's going to mess up your algorithm, and it's going to take 2 or 3 months for it to get back to you know, normal. And I say that because I just had a video hit over 400,000 views, and that's more normal for me. So I think a lot of my sales were coming from those viral Facebook posts because it was able to reach more people. I think I needed like the reach because my save rate is in the toilet. It always has been. Like even when I was making really good sales, my save rate was still in the toilet. And that's something that this May, and well, really just this month, like I didn't even think about it in April, late April. All I was doing was like posting more. on Instagram mainly. But in May, I really started trying to focus on getting my save rate up. Haven't had much luck with it, honestly. Now that I'm looking at this, March and April were my lowest months by far. One thing about viral posts on at least I've seen on Facebook and Instagram, sometimes they don't go viral right away, and like it'll be sitting there for like weeks or a month, and then finally hit and go up to like 1 million views. I can look on Meta Business and compare Facebook and Instagram and see where these posts actually started taking off versus when they were posted. So like this one I posted on April the 11th. It didn't start getting a lot of views until early May. It's not always going to hit right away, and don't delete your stuff. You know, don't go back and say, oh my gosh, I hate that. You know, like I've done that before where I like got on TikTok, y'all. On TikTok, I got like 4 views. I was like, oh my gosh, it's just like something's wrong with that. I went into my analytics and I was like trying to, like, usually they'll tell you why, you know, like you have copyrighted music or something's wrong with it that they're not pushing it to the FYP. I didn't have any kind of warnings like that. And I was like, well, I just left it instead of archiving. And like 3 days later, it was up to over 1,000 views. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, it's my, just for reference, my typical views on TikTok have been between 500 and 900 views. So it's been really good to get a TikTok to go over 1,000. Now that's changed and I'll tell y'all. Okay, so what I did was I started posting more frequently on Instagram. May the 11th, I started what I called on Threads my author marketing field notes. I didn't expect anyone to really look at them. My Threads doesn't really get a lot of views, but I figured even if there was a chance that one person would be keeping up with it, it would make me stay accountable. And it worked. It really worked because I continued posting. I was like, if I don't post, then I don't have anything to share on Threads. Now, I stopped sharing super detailed, but because it was tiresome and I didn't think anyone was going to read it, but I am sharing my results and what I'm doing and trying to keep it updated. One of my lowest days for sales was May, was it May? No. Yeah, May the 12th. I was getting on average between like $12 and 20 something dollars. It would fluctuate, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. May the 11th, I started posting more and actually focusing on trying to raise my save rate. And by doing that, I needed to bridge my cult hooks to my books faster and more effectively. I still haven't quite figured it out, but something's working. I shortened my reels. I started posting a little bit more, and I actually posted a kind of controversial post on April 23rd that got a little bit of traction. I don't think it went viral. It was of me talking, and historically talking head videos have not done well for me at all. I believe that this whole push to originality that Meta is doing is going to help authors who want to like talk to the camera. And I posted one yesterday that was it was actually a pretty long reel. I think it was like over a minute. For comparison, my most viral reels have been between 6 and 8 seconds long. 7 seconds has been the sweet spot for me in 2025 and 6. 2023 and 2024, I was able to go viral with 4-second reels, but I don't think they're pushing reels that short anymore. But just for comparison, having a 45-second to over a minute long reel actually have decent views is really, it's a big change for me. Or it might have been right at 45 seconds or something. And currently it is sitting at 5,845 views, and it has 10 saves and 4 people followed me from that post. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see that. Also, with this push to originality that Meta's doing, I'm going to have to change a little bit of strategy, and I think a lot of us are going to have to. because reposting the same things or posting static images in Reels, I have had it get flagged quite a bit on Facebook, where they say that your distribution is affected. When I go to Insights to see what they're talking about, they say, learn how to make your content more original. And it just takes me to the link about Meta pushing original content. Even though these are literal pictures of myself, young, you know, in my cult days. So it is original, very original, and it has text over this. But that's why I'm kind of like shifting to actual voice and talking head videos. One thing I've noticed, if you go on Instagram and Facebook and you follow different creators, I follow a lady, I don't remember her name, but her handle is healing by the numbers. I love her stuff. She's an abuse survivor that shares how she broke up with her abusive ex and went through the divorce and all of this. She does talking head videos, and she has gotten huge on Instagram in like a year. Same thing for a girl, her name is Julie Dawn, I believe, and she shares purity culture content. She was in a cult, and she shares different stories from that and how she divorced out of the cult, you know, and is healing and deconstructing. And she's pure talking head videos for the most part, and over 100,000 followers in a year. I think there's something to be said for like really putting yourself out there and just be yourself, you know, and the people who like you and vibe with you are going to find you and they're going to read your books. So I'm learning that. Like, I will keep, if y'all are interested in this, I will try to film and show everybody what I'm doing and how it's working and what's not working. And I was not expecting TikTok to do anything with this marketing push. TikTok has been such a flop for me ever since I started posting over there. Like I said, I have my main TikTok where it's kind of a mirror of my Instagram. I just post pretty well the same content. I had an interruption by my daughter. Now I can't remember what I was saying. But like I said, I was at normal views, 500 to 900 views. Like 300 was horrible. Yeah. If it hit 500, I was like, oh, okay. And then 800 to 900 was my average views. I was so pissed off that I have been working. I don't even know if I can find out like how long I've had my TikTok. It has been at least 2 years. And I just cannot seem to grow on there. I had like 2,400 and something followers, and the growth hasn't been like crazy, but I have 2,686 now, which is huge for me. Like, just being able to get followers and actually keep them. I literally took a post that had gone semi-viral on Instagram and I screenshot it on Instagram. Like, I didn't screenshot the reel just saved to my camera roll. I screenshot it on Instagram with all the Instagram stuff still on it. So you have my, you have everything. I mean, I'll just share the screenshot. And currently this is sitting at like 31,000 views. I was like, oh my gosh, it went up to 1,000 and something, and then it was at 10,000, and I was like, and I have a TikTok now sitting at 378,000, and it's the same style that is screenshots. Okay, so one thing I have learned with TikTok: do carousels, do photos, slideshows, whatever they call it on TikTok. Do not do videos. For me, that's what works. I've also had TikTok tell me this because I have 6 different accounts, and I'll share a couple videos here and there. And when I do that, the next time I get on TikTok, there'll be a little thing at the top, a little message that says share photos to get more views. So what does that tell you? Like, TikTok is pushing photos because they're trying to take the place of, they're trying to compete with Instagram, who's focusing on Reels right now, because they were trying to compete with TikTok. That's just, anyway. This is something that I definitely want to try to update y'all about. on my channel. I would love to document what I do to actually build on this, because I've never had my TikTok get any traction. And I had, until now, I didn't even realize it was only a week. Like, I've been basing this off of the time that I've spent pushing content on Instagram, and this didn't take off until just a week ago, so it's still fresh. And like yesterday, I shared a post, and it's up to 13,000.4 views, 13.4 thousand views, and it has 17 saves, which, again, my save rate is in the toilet, but at least I'm getting saves. And I do believe this is selling books. Now, about burner accounts. Burner accounts are great. If you follow Katie Wismer, please go follow her. I have gotten so much encouragement. I'm a member of her YouTube and her Patreon. I probably need to cancel one of those because she's not sharing content on Patreon anymore. But I have that one because I want to watch her old videos again. I have rewatched her videos so many times. She's the one I learned about burner accounts from. And she saw so much success from them. She shares static photo slideshows. Usually it has like a POV or something emotional from the character, and then at the end it'll have text from the book. I was trying to do that. I have 6 burner accounts, and what I have learned from this marketing push, I don't need that many burners because I only have one series. If I had like more than one series or a couple standalone books that I was marketing, then having that many burners would work. But especially from this marketing push, because I was doing so much content, what happens is I think TikTok sees multiple accounts posting almost identical content, and even if I change the pictures and change the text, it's still pushing the exact same book. So I only have so many hooks for this book. And it cannibalized itself, and it told TikTok flagged it as spam. Like, they didn't literally flag it, but they repressed my views. Going forward, from from this last week, is it the last week in May? I don't even know what day it is. I'm going to focus on one burner account and my main author TikTok. I chose the account with the most likes, so I have one that's right at like 80,000 likes. I'm still just figuring it out, and I will definitely share more about that. Now, on TikTok, I'm also sharing on Trial Reels. I post shorter content on Trial Reels because it's being pushed out to non-followers, and I want them to get the point quick. Like, you know, cold readers who see this content, I want them to see, oh, it's a book, I want to read it, you know, that kind of thing. I've had some traction. I have gotten several of my trial reels to go viral above 1 million views. I was trying to post like 11 a day, and I'm still trying to post that many, because you can post up to like 15, I think is the limit per 24 hours. But I think the limit also changes based on how many followers you have or how many views you have in a month. I don't know the parameters, but if you ask people, like, you know, how many is your limit, it's different to different creators. I have not had any trouble posting 11 reels in a day. I try to space them out, though. I don't try to post them all at once. I have done that like a couple times going to bed. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't posted. So I just mass posted like 9 reels at a time. That works. Like, it doesn't hurt you, but I think if I didn't do it at night, I would probably get more views. I didn't get horrible views. Like, I would get like 1,200 views or 300 views, but to hit the bigger numbers, don't do it at night. I'm trying to think of anything else. Another major change I've made, I shifted from horror romance to cult thriller romance. Because the only reason I had listed my books as horror is because they had ghosts and some possessions and stuff like that. But they also have murder mysteries, and they kind of lean more towards thrillers. And I think I could reach a bigger audience like that. I'm in the very early stages of this. I have changed all my back matter in my books. I have to re-upload them to KDP. I'm changing metadata, keywords, descriptions, SEO. I can't change the titles for the paperbacks because they actually have the word horror in them. But I can change the Kindle, and that's where, I mean, most people go to the Kindle before they go to the paperback anyway. Anyway, so yeah, that's a big change, but it's not affecting the numbers right now, I don't believe, because I just implemented this like 3 days ago. I'm going to close this video out because it's long enough. I hope to make videos about how I'm making reels, like a video dedicated to trial reels, like running a whole week of like so many reels and then showing where I started with it, how it ended up, if it actually helped sales. Same thing with like TikTok, like a video focused just on TikTok, a video talking about like how I make my videos or how I make my photo slideshows, and talking about like hashtags and sounds and all that stuff. I cannot fit it all in one video, but I hope this has given you a little bit of an idea of what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Editing April will come back with something she forgot to say. But anyway, if you made it this far, please consider subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one.